Gives them a lot of power in the later game, but I really like the Tahm Kench until they decided to switch towards the Rel.
Might still be the Rel jungle, because this is also a continuation of LCK teams, specifically T1, started prioritizing this Kench, and LPL teams really putting high prior on the Renata. Obviously T1 played it, but that was specifically in an Ashe lane. And Bin not going to show a new champion, instead going back to the Aatrox. The team finding power of this BLG comp is, especially in the mid game, I think absolutely insane. When you get to late game though with Jax and Kench to protect the Aphelios and the Nazir as well, Gen.G will have a lot of power themselves.
A part of me did expect something like D'Amelio, but I guess they were sitting there thinking to themselves, you know what, his ultimate's not going to have as much value against the composition that we currently see. So instead, if my Aphelios does get ulted on by Jarvan, at least I can then use the Devour, bring him over to safety. So a very traditional front-to-back comp coming out from the side of Gen.G. You have the Rel that's going to be your primary engage. You've got very effective disengage with the use of the Azir ultimate, and then that range that you're going to have with the Aphelios Azir combo. This looks like a very traditional LCK composition, something that's more catered towards that scaling and team fighting while still providing that pressure in the laning phase, whereas BLG are going to look to scrap and skirmish in the early game with a high focus on that bot side of the map.
There was a slight issue with the overlay there. The champions are all in their expected positions. We're not going to see Aphelios mid for Chovy. Sad as it is that we don't get to see something like that come out here in the quarterfinals. For Chovy, it's his 5th quarterfinal in 5 years. Can he go further? Can he make it to the finals, to the promised land as a player? Can Gen.G do that as well? Because over the last few years, they've been domestically dominant, but overshadowed by T1 when it comes to international competition.
And for a first seed of the LCK, that's not enough, right? The expectations are sky high. We'll see if Gen.G today can conquer their demons from MSI and actually take the win here in game number 1.
And for BLG, they just want a repeat of last time. They've only played once, it was a 3-0, and BLG schooled Gen.G. A lot of it coming through Shun, working his way down towards that bottom lane, and here they've got a composition that if he's in bot a lot, is going to help them out no end. We are on to Summoner's Rift once again. Gen.G versus BLG.
It's really tough to consistently get the CC. So I really like this from Shun. Continued attention towards the bot side. Paze and the Light are pretty full, do have their summoners available, but even blowing them would already be a big win.
Only cleanse on Paze as well. On can look for that handshake. Delight standing in front. There's the ignite. Paze cleanses with a flash follow from Shun means the Paze. Paze the ultimate price bailout on won't get him out of dodge this time. 1-for-1 trade in the bottom lane.
The play is worth it though overall for BLG. The amount of farm and experience, Paze does get a return kill, which is kind of the best case scenario for him, but we were just talking about this bot lane dive, and Shun without any hesitation says, what, just because you see me, you think that's going to stop me? So they can just keep information as to whether or not Peanut is trying any lane ganks, and you can see that BLG's game plan is so committed to playing around bots.
On's going to get rooted, he doesn't have flash, remember, flash forward by Peanut and On pays the price. In the bottom lane, Gen.G back on the board. Paze gets his 2nd of the game. Doran trading in the top lane. Grandmaster's Might onto Bin. Bin tries to turn it back around. Doran trying to get the empowered autos off. Both of them still have their flashes, but it's a trade of ultimates and not much more.
I mean, credit to Gen.G. I thought the BLG's control was good, but those wards that I was trying to highlight did disappear. They didn't have information on where Peanut was. They were pushed too deep into the lane when they didn't really have much information, and Gen.G made that look easy. They punished On's lack of summoner spells, and now they have the kill lead.
Ooh, Doran might get caught here.
Does have flash. Counter-strike early. Shun trying to get away from it. Eats a honey fruit, and it's fine for the moment. Doran forced away. Wave is crashing in, but you can see Peanut already worked his way up through this topside jungle, so if a dive does occur or materialize, Peanut is in the right position at the right time, and the Nut God's looking for something as they go forward. Bin has to flash away. Doran has a flash follow. Counter-strike coming out, and Bin is locked up and sent packing by Gen.G.
And Peanut, his pathing this game has been immaculate, covering for the early dive. Yes, they're able to get the kill, but at least Paze gets a counter. And we immediately saw the pings go down. However, Gen.G trying to contest this hero there. I don't know if Peanut, reinforcements are on the way.
Delight's on his way across. No Fate's Call yet for Elk, so half the time on that, but they do have the hostile takeover if they want to look for more. Shun goes in, they find Paze. Cataclysm down, but the Devour already used by Delight. Now the hostile takeover popping as well. The shield from Paze, he tries to cleanse away, but he's slowed. Severum's gonna heal him up, but Peanut pulled back with a handshake, and BLG win out the skirmish.
Really big win there for BLG, and this is the disrespect that we saw Gen.G show against T1 as well. The early power of this Kalista Renata. The
breakout, standout players of the entire tournament. People were putting him in the conversation for best performing AD as Chovy.
Gao has flash, but he's not going to be able to get away from Peanut, who lands the stun immediately. The shockwave only catches onto Chovy, and Yagao is going to get chased down here. Chovy puts down the soldiers, and Yagao is buried beneath their feet. Doran with a good jump away, but Shun chases in, and still it's only Shun that's picked up kills for BLG.
And it's punch and immediate counter punch. Gen.G are able to punish the Orianna, even if Flash Up Yagao realizes that there's too much damage available, doesn't actually get to survive, but Doran does get punished for his earlier play as Elk, there's no wave, so we'll see if they're able. Pace is trying to bring it in, but I don't think that there really is a window with more people from BLG moving over, and Gen.G decide the better of it. In his play, I think you can see he has a lot of these moments as the contest is going to come through.
TP in. Shun can look for this. Counter TP burnt by Yagao. Shun on the front line. Bin's going to dash across the border. Ripped out down to 1,000. Hostile takeover, though, is going to do so much work. Pays already berserk as the light is forced away, and now Doran's in the midst of BLG, and Bin is looking to send him packing into the recycling. He goes. Come back next time as Bin chases the rest of Gen.G away. Gen.G picked this fight, and they do not want it anymore. Chovy has to burn the flash as the voyage out from Delight is abyssal, and the fight for Gen.G was abysmal.
It's at this point in the game where BLG want to fight you, and Gen.G, Chovy looks for a play, gets the flash out of Elk, but it's just a consolation prize as Gen.G falls short in the fight, trying to force this when it feels like BLG at this point in the game should be so much stronger.
They can't get to this, right? There's no vision. They have to try and make either for the play for the fight or go for Nash, but
and Peanut can try and walk across here, but Yagao's doing a really good job of keeping the ball down. Peanut now going to try and chase forward, but Yagao is in the right position to stop them. The Magnustorm for Peanut, he's nowhere near them! It's just miles away. They got an EpiPen or something, because Peanut not doing anything to them as BLG secure the ocean. And that was a Peanut at Worlds moment if I've ever seen one.
The engage goes wide. Gen.G now don't have an easy way to start the fight. Doran
gonna get brought back, pops the stopwatch, handshake coming out, Moonlight Vigil does hit the Infernum, there's the hostile takeover, Cataclysm onto the backline though, and Doran's been locked up, the Shockwave finds him. The Devourer comes out as Chovy starts to retreat, but already it's 2 kills to BLG, and Gen.G are found wanting by the unwanted aggression from BLG.
And it's again BLG able to very calmly play out this scenario. They set up full control. They know that Gen.G has to walk in. Peanut has to go for a desperation play, but with the ultimate gone, no Magnet Storm, no engage, there is nothing that they can do than the turn from BLG, who are more than happy to look for a fight. That's Soul, and that's Baron.
Now Peanut caught out a little bit, should be able to get his way away from this one. Shun now spots the control ward in the pit.
That's
well
big.
done by BLG to make sure they cleared out all their corners.
Shun.
And Shun can look for more because Peanut dismounted right now. Remounts, you just go for it. EQ in, flag and drag, Cataclysm as well. Delight has to flash as there's Peanut. Infernum from the side means that On is down to half HP, but that's so much invested by Gen.G. And with not too much gain, they have mid-wave prio, but will it be enough? Elder spawns, Elk starts it. Bin keeps Doran and Peanut at bay. No flash for Peanut, remember, just burnt it. But he can get into this fight. The Shockwave finds Chovy, Delight, and Pace now beginning to step it up. Devour available for Delight. Pace dodges the Berserk for the hostile takeover. Already finds one, and Bin is done with this game. The Elder secure. Pace tries to dash away, but Bin puts him in his place as BLG clean up in the river.
And BLG immediately head towards the bot side of the map. Wave is ready. No turret standing there. Doran desperately trying to draw some attention, but it was not enough, and BLG take a resounding victory here in game number 1, and it looks like Gen.G and Messiah might have been half a year ago, but it's not looking that different in game number 1.
I tell you, there's all the time between these two teams, it seems, as BLG come out to an early lead and are able to snowball it away from Gen.G. A few mistakes for Gen.G. Doran as well in the top lane specifically had struggled into Bin after a few good early forays, and BLG never let go of the reins. Gen.G respawning, but the Elder still stands on BLG, and they can look for the fight. The Magnustorm finds 2, but Pays pulled back, and he's just deleted by the laser. Peanut follows suit, and BLG playing with Gen.G as they clean it up to go 1-0 up in this quarterfinal.
Shun's only death to the Nexus at the very end. An incredible game across the board from him in the jungle.
BLG have a composition that should be able just to take over the game.
In theory, yes. Often, though, when we get onto the Rift Medic, theory doesn't always pan out into practice. What we do know is that Shun's Jarvan is something that Gen.G need to be afraid of in the early game. When we look at kind of where BLG can play in the early game, they have a lot of options. Expectations are that they would look to play through bot once again early on into the game. This top matchup is going to be super interesting. Rumble into Aatrox is something that, well, we haven't seen a huge amount on the patch. Like, the Shy kind of introduced this new build on the Aatrox that's been kind of finding a lot of success, especially in the later game team fights. And I'm curious as to how Doran is going to match up against Bin this time around, because they tried to pinch Bin, it didn't really work. Now he's been given a champion that we know that he's comfortable on. So how are you going to manage that? Are you going to try and invest everything into shutting Bin down and trying to get Doran ahead at the potential cost of your bot side of the map? The pressure really is on Gen.G to come up with a solution to deal with BLG's aggression as we're getting into game 2.
Gen.G also once again relying on Peanut for the majority of their engages on that Maokai. Delight on Melio. I like the Melio pick in terms of what it gives you. You know, the shields, the heals, the extra range, and obviously the Breath of Light to get out of a hostile takeover. But I don't like it because I know what Delight can do when he has something he can roam around the map on. When he can have an impact here, it feels a little hamstrung by the draft. We'll see what Gen.G can do though, because they lost game 1, being elected to be on the red side, and this is what they have conjured for us. Midio and obviously the Azir, so if BLG do overstep for a fight, we could see that, but the handshake on Pays in the bottom lane. Warm hugs from Delight, that shield coming out, keeping Pays topped up around 300 health. The heal early here as they look for the chase. Elk and On both have their flashes. Elk already invested a ghost flash forward, twisted advance, knocked back onto On, and Gen.G played to this tune in game 1. The bailout coming out and On will be brought back. And now Delight is next on the menu, and Elk can turn it around. Double buff for him. It's going to be 2, but a great flash from Delight. Got escape from Elk. 2 kills to BLG in the bottom lane.
This bottom lane is terrifying. Wow, what a play from On. The fact that they just said, focus Peanut, and then he brought him back into range of Elk to get that execution. If nothing else, they were going to get a 1-for-1. They turned it into 2-for-1. Now BLG look for the dive.
Knock up on door, and he tries to flash away, but the chase is there, and the Ignite is ticking. Bing tanking, the tower shots can flash away. Peanut trying to answer as well, but he can't face the might of BLG's top and jungle. A few happy moments known for them. A little bit overeager at times to find a good play. Since then, he has been so consistent. He's been such an integral part of the 15-1 record that BLG maintained through the regular season. Shun here smites away. On is looking for a little bit more. They can harass.
No flash,
Pays
Peanut.
has flash, though. They look for Peanut. The handshake's going to pull him back at Peanut. Even in the cozy campfire, will find nothing but death and despair. Pays now chased away, has the flash to get across the wall. They try and turn onto Shun, but Pays has to burn his flash as Chovy goes in, but Shun won't even fall. The bailout was on him, wouldn't have revived him, but BLG are just outplaying Gen.G.
They had to find a big team fight to come back into that game. And then against G2, they looked very convincing for the large part outside of losing game 2. Doran now going for a bit of a trade. Nice trading against Bin.
On his way with the Nature's Grasp as well, but you can see Shun ready to react. Bin rooted up. Shun is on his way. The equalizer down, and Doran's burning. Bin trying to turn it around, and Doran will fall first, and Peanut's buried next to his brother as BLG's strike.
Bin just refuses to fall. The man in the top lane, touted as one of, if not the best top laner in the world, finds a double kill with the help of his jungler.
With a little bit of exaggeration, any game we have seen at Worlds, as the TP comes up towards the top lane, Chovy's going to knock Bin back, and finally, Gen.G are finding something proactive. Bin is going to try and get his way away here, will fall down, equalize on the wave to make sure it's cleared out. Gen.G find a small glimpse of hope, but oh, how small it is.
But, you know, that's me. I have a bit of a personal stake as in they go.
They do find engage onto Shun. He has the flash, goes in with the Cataclysm, and now there's the TP. Hostile takeover from On as well. Is going to catch 2. The equalizer down, and Chovy is burning in the river. Lava underneath his feet as Doran probably regretting that lack of flash now as Yagao catches him with the shockwave. The EQ combo from Shun sends him to an early grave. And the Church of Chovy is in session. You can hear it silent here. God they're praying to doesn't seem to be listening right now. And we joke and we prod, but we do so because this game feels pretty much donezo. Gen.G obviously can still fight back. They do have tools at their disposal. If they can get to 2-3 items, if BLG make mistakes, they can jump in, onto them, but BLG just haven't been making too many mistakes through these games. There's the Nature's Grass as Gen.G look for something. Baron up in 10 seconds. If you find a fight here, maybe you can turn it into more. The hostile takeover being popped. Chovy dodges away from the shockwave as Peanut's in the back of the pit. Doran trying to get onto Elk, but Elk yet untouched. And Doran, the warm hugs are not enough to keep him alive as Elk flashes forward. Pays is about to meet his maker as Elk sends him into the dirt.
And BLG see that one coming from a mile away. Gen.G in the desperation try to get anything, force a fight, but with the summoner still available, it's just not enough. And BLG about to take Baron and a resounding 2-0 lead in this series.
Yao keeps everyone interested as the equalizer popped on Pays.
Yes, TP.
Doran trying to defend, been pulled back. TP available for Yagao as now he recalls. Elk takes the first Nexus tower and BLG start to disengage.
I'm pretty sure Yagao actually flashed Chovy.
Oh, Pays is rooted! The breath of life! Oh, just about keeps Pays alive, but now Bin and Shun are looking for more. They've taken Doran, Bin will fall. Yagao TP's in, no shockwave on him for about 20 seconds, but the EQ flash onto Chovy, he dashes in, but Elk has the escape tool. Feathers fly and Gen.G die in their own base. The Baron buff remains for 20 seconds more. Pays has flash, no ult, no dash away as he now flashes to escape. Only the cannon minions surviving here, but BLG makes the push a little bit harder, and it looks like they will finally disengage. The minions battering down the base. Shun goes forward with the flag and drag, and that's another inhibitor tower forfeit by Gen.G and happily taken by BLG. Time is running out for Gen.G, at least in this game, maybe in Worlds, if they can't find a way to fight back against BLG in Game 3.
BLG were underdogs at MSI, they're underdogs here again at Worlds, but despite that they stand strong and they're looking to go to match point against Gen.G.
It has been destruction, demolition, the most one-sided series we have seen in a while here at Worlds. Peanut has to flash away. The Cataclysm in will end Chovy's day, and now Doran and the rest of Gen.G can only stand and watch on the fountain, but even there, they are not safe from the unending assault of BLG. Really struggles in the lane if you start to be harassed down. Braum as well. Oh, they thought it was going to be the Lux, but Braum into Naught is an absolute delight for On, not for Delight. In fact, it will be despair for Delight against On, who will very much be on in this game, not turned off by picking the Braum into the Nautilus in this final draft. Game 3, and we have our drafts. Gentlemen, what do we think?
Chovy hard 1v9, or it's BLG 3-0, right? BLG gets the Renekton for Bin, which he's incredible on. I think is best champion outside of the Jax. Then you have, again, that combo of the Orianna and the Jarvan. Shun has had an incredible series thus far. I think the only upside is that, you know, I think the Braum is better into Nautilus, but the 2v2 is a little bit less oppressive than Lux, so that's something. But if that's what you're looking at, things are not good, and I think Gen.G needs to actually win some early skirmishes if they want to have a shot in this one.
I don't love Yone into Renekton. Not in like that. Obviously, they're not actually playing against each other in the matchup. I mean, like, when it comes into the team fights later on, I think Renekton is just so obnoxious for Yone to play. I will say that, like, Gen.G have changed it up. Their team fighting, I feel like that independently, like, their players now have a lot more agency to do things. They're not reliant on a good engage from Peanut. They also just have more engage options because Delight is on a melee support. So I'm optimistic that Gen.G can just do more because they have more tools to do more. But the pressure's on. They're down 2 games now, and their year can end right here, right now.
Weight of those expectations when you are in front of your home crowd as well. When you are expected to beat the 2nd seed from the LPL, when you are the favorites coming in, only extenuate those circumstances as the Nature's Grass comes out. Smite secured by Peanut as they look for the engage world ender. Chovy with a great base seal, locks up 2. Yagao trying to join the fray, Bin low, but he's able to dash away. Doran going forward. First blood to Gen.G, and signs of life for Gen.G, and signs of life here in Busan.
And Yagao doesn't have flash because of the earlier play. We'll see if Peanut can extend, but he dies!
Shockwave, Peanut goes timber, ace in the hole onto Light. The Glacial Fish are going wide, but flash ignite into the build over Peacemaker is enough for BLG in the bottom lane.
The trap placement from Elk was crazy there. There was no effort Delight to go. Bit more chip damage coming down onto Pays, but BLG are the ones to overstep. But it's still BLG the walk away with a kill advantage thanks to the bot lane 2v2. 2v2 kill found. Delight now.
Depth charge onto Elk. He still has flash, he still has heal, but where's he gonna dash to? As the Gen.G bot lane comes to life as well. Gen.G 2-2 now. They have the Rip held in the pocket of Peanut. Do they want to just put it down and invest more gold into their AD carry? It looks like it.
Look at the faces of the Gen.G fans. Cautious optimism for now. They will equalize the kills, and Pays getting a crucial one will help close the gold gap between him and Elk. He needs those plates, and he's going to get some gold off the back of that. So a much needed play there for Gen.G. Delight finds his opportunity.
Chovy going in with the Soul Unbound, pull back with the shockwave, but he can dash away. The base seal blocked though with the Cataclysm, and Chovy will fall every time Gen.G get on the board. BLG answer.
And Chovy got a bunch of help, wasn't able to take down Yagao. Yagao gets one gank, says thank you very much, is able to pick up the counter kill. Credit again to Shun,
yeah.
right? Blocking.
Helps when your teammates hit their skills.
Yeah, that turns out then gank's a lot better. We do see, as mentioned, the fact that Pays at least is playing in this game helps a little bit, but see if Gen.G can get another play going here, as the Drake has been started up. Drake stacking for BLG has been really big this series.
Yagao has no ultimate. Peanut has his. The Nature's Grasp possibility is there's the Glacier Fissure. Nature's Grasp used, but they all line up. Good hook onto the back line as the TP is now invested from either side. Chovy trying to come in from the top side of the fight, but Doran's already dead. And now Pays having to cleanse away. The ace in the hole finds its prey, but only 100 HP left now on the Gen.G AD carry. They try to invest some resources into defending. Delight is looking for Yagao, but Shun steps in the way. The depth shot coming out as well. The Killer Instinct, a possibility here for Pays. He dives in. They find Yagao. The shockwave. It's not going to be enough. And Gen.G proactively find the enemy mid.
A really good punish as Delight and Chovy are sitting in the top side river, and they notice that Yagao and Shun are just kind of lackadaisically walking through the river. Great awareness though from Yagao. You'll notice that he takes a step back. He's actually hesitant and so might be in the brush. Unfortunately, the hook connects onto Shun, which is all Delight needs to then connect the ultimate.
First move and control of the river as we go towards the dragon.
Gen.G don't have to contest this.
They don't.
But every time we've said that so far this series, they have then contested
like they've committed
it, so.
2 TPs to mid lane now.
There we are, Chovy and Doran join the fray. Stopwatch completed on Chovy. I think a fight is brewing. Bin locked up for the moment. He'll be able to dash away. Chovy pulled back by the Soul Unbound. Gen.G don't really have the vision control as of yet. They're going to try and garner it now, but there's wards behind them as well. The Dragon started, would be the second for Gen.G, down to 5,000. Bin with the Dominus, slowed, stopped by Doran, who acts as a bodyguard. Now the hook onto Bin, knocked up with a death charge as well as Bin tries to heal himself up. Chovy getting onto the back line with the shockwave, pulls him out, shut out! Chovy down, but here is Pays to find another. The Dragon going over, flash away from Elk, twisted advance, they dive onto Elk, on the front line, trying to get in the way as Shun forces Pays away. Shun will take down Pays, and Elk still standing like he's ever been for BLG. Elk still survives, but Doran finally comes to life. A triple for the Aatrox as Gen.G even out the fight.
It's 4 dead on either side. The Dragon goes in favor of Gen.G. Doran looking for one more. Shun, can you escape?
He saved everything in this series for this moment. Can't find Shun around that Dragon. BLG, though, are looking for the big purple worm.
Well, there's a big cooldown. At the very least, I think BLG want to try and force Chovy's TP, force a response here. And in the best case scenario, they pick up the Baron.
The Baron has been begun. There's the TP from Chovy. Delight looking for vision in the pit, puts a control ward in. Doran going forward with a World Ender. And on the back of the wings of the World Ender, Gen.G look to make their final stand. BLG's fate sealed by the combination of the Aatrox and the Yone. And Busan roars into life.
It is the flank that they've been looking for. It feels like the entire series. Finally, Gen.G get the jump on BLG, who tried to bite off a little bit more than they can chew. And at the very least, Gen.G gonna walk away with a Baron here.
Well played fight from Gen.G. He's gonna get rid of that control ward and look to get a bit more defensive animization. And BLG, they have no access. So this is what I was saying. It's a really difficult one where I don't know if they can actually fight the Baron because they literally don't have a way to get close to it.
Benefit for them is even if Gen.G do get the Baron, it's still a short-range composition. So BLG can just try and hold on, maybe look for an engage when the inhibitor towers are being pushed, because Gen.G will want to try and push 2 waves. But now we see Shun stepping a little bit too far forward, locked up with just the hook, no ultimates burnt from Gen.G. On takes a chunk as well. Shun down to half HP. Bin stepping forward. Doran level 18 already. Able to keep the rest of BLG away. And Delight and Doran teaming up to make sure that BLG are on the back foot as Chovy goes forward. On going in. Shun looking for the Cataclysm as well. Pops his stopwatch as Doran goes down. The Baron secured. BLG can look for more. How much further can they chase? Not much is the answer. Gen.G sacrificed their top laner, but secure the Baron. Credit to BLG, they made G2 sweat in game 2, even though G2 were able to pick up that win. Here they are making Gen.G sweat, even though Gen.G have had the lead for the last 15 minutes or so. Part of it, obviously, is compositions. We talked about the range disadvantage for Gen.G, their struggle at getting towards those inhibitor towers, but you have to give credit to the LPL 2 seed. So consistently able to find
Here we go.
wins as On steps forward. Infernal Chains will drag him back. Bin acting as a frontline. Chovy looking for the flank position. Shun tries to dive onto him. The Mortal Steel gets the knock-up. Doran going forward as Bin with the Dominus is locked up. Stopwatch, is it enough to buy him enough time to get out? It is for now, but Pace dives forward and Bin dies, and Gen.G have found the fight they were looking for. They turn their eyes back to the Baron.
Slowly chip away. You can see now BLG being divided. The Yone in the top lane.
Chovy the target for now, but the cannon minions doing enough work on those inhibitors. Inhibitor in the bottom lane will fall. Pays locked up, flashes away. The Cataclysm will get his GA, but is it enough here for BLG? Doran coming in from the flanks as Pays is brought back to life. The flag and the drag from Shun is just found wanting, but the engage continues from BLG. Gen.G disengaged perfectly to keep their AD carry alive.
Part of On's ultimate actually clips him, gets the knock up, and it's enough as Chovy.
He's gonna kill him.
Falling low, has the shield, but it's just enough to keep him alive. BLG were pushing forward to try and fight for the Elder, but Gen.G are looking for the Nexus. Shun already called out as they look for more. He's trying to get away, but there's one, there's two, there's more for Gen.G. Pays diving forward, the killer instinct living up to its name as Shun tries to get away and will escape to live another day, but the Nexus, the target in the eyes of Gen.G as they are looking to fight back in this series. A reverse sweep is what it will take, and Gen.G have taken the first step.
A crazy game.
Looks like that is going to be locked in.
Yeah, BLG trying to get the best of both worlds, where you get the Ashe into Kalista matchup, which obviously you're going to be very happy about, while simultaneously having at least some sort of defense. I actually think Kench into like Akali and Vi feels amazing. I do think, though, that this should be a counter pick for Delight, which would make the lane maybe...
I'd like Bard here. I was going to say, I'd really like Bard here, actually. The round kind of works
more
out.
in Delight's wheelhouse.
It is very much more in his wheelhouse. I'm a bit more disappointed in it, but he's still an incredibly good round.
Still from Ral can be pretty effective against the Tahm Kench. But all right, Gen.G. I would say the closest thing we saw to a composition like this was when they played into T1. A lot more early game focus. They fell short in the early game, but then actually came back in the later game team fights. I don't think it's imperative that they actually get mid ahead. I think that it's important that they get Doran through the laning phase. And I also think that it's important that they find some advantages in the bot lane 2v2. Ashe Tahm can be super obnoxious to play against. But yeah, I think that this game is going to come down to a lot of teamfight execution. And this is where I think a champion like Akali Vi can really thrive and make life difficult for Yagao and Elk.
It's also with the Nico and Ashe, I think BLG do have the ability to try, and even if one of those two gets taken out, you still have the Jarvan, which early game is a big threat. I do think both teams are going to feel a little bit worried if this goes to late. I think Ashe does have a lot of power, especially compared to the Kalista, but then the other parts, right, particularly the Akali, I think in a side lane is going to be... There's no answer for anyone on BLG, but I do think Gen.G's early game, not traditionally where they excel, and you have a mid lane that's going to lose a lot of prio in the first 6 levels, and a bot lane that needs to get out, so even more so than ever, it's going to come down to the jungle, I think. Peanut and Shun, who gets to have the biggest impact here?
Right, you need one more minion. You need something, get that level 2. There we go, Delight has it, so does Paige. Shun looking for this. A lot of minions going to be lost to the tower. TP in from Doran, but he can be stopped by Bin, and he is, in fact, in the top lane. Delight look for the engage, flash away from On. Shun can go in now. EQ, flash away from Paige. The flash doesn't follow, but Paige is dead. The flip back onto On is not enough. On not tanking the tower. Abyssal Voyage forward. The dodge from Delight. He still has flash. Elk now tanking the tower. Shun and On haven't hit Delight. And so in the end, it's a play, it's a kill, it's everything BLG wanted.
And Peanut looking for a lane gank here.
Shun's coming down as well. This wave pushing away from Paze and Delight means that Shun can just push forward himself. Elk trying to open up with the Rangers. Focus, the engage onto Elk. He still has flash heal, but he doesn't have time to get out. Delight gets the kill, not what you would have wanted for Gen.G. Meanwhile, Bin trading with Doran in the top lane, and I know who's winning this one. Kasante doing Kasante things as the double flash has been used, but there's no dodge for the Q3 unless Doran puts on his dancing shoes. Can't find them in time. Bin with a solo.
Look at the frustration on the fans' face. Elation as they get a big kill in the bot lane, and then disappointment as Bin wins out in the 1v1 top. The gold still remains even. Gen.G will secure the first dragon of game 4. They're definitely not down and out just yet, but they needed to make something happen. Bot Jud now looking for something.
Down looking for the flank as well. No flash on Paze, none on Delight either, or even Peanut. Paze pops the cleanse, but he's being locked up, and he'll be shut out of the battle. Shun takes the kill. Delight next on the menu. He's ready for a tongue lashing. Yagao flashes, but can't get in range to find the Pot Blossom. Delight escapes.
And it's the aggression of BLG again. Gao would have hit the root if he didn't flash there. So then Bin could have changed his CC. Would have been enough. That should still be the Drake going over. Doran picks at least up a little bit of gold, but I think BLG is going to take that trade anytime as they're teleporting in.
5 second on Fate's call. Delight and Doran looking for something here. The equalizer could come down, but just wasted in the end.
What is the game plan there for Gen.G? The dragon's already dead. BLG are obviously disengaging, I guess. The logic is that they want to zone Elk and On away from the bot lane, so
yeah, they also
can
have
funnel
Herald.
plates. They
So
do have the Herald, all right.
TP. Bin realizes the plan.
Now they have to
But he's
dive.
alone.
But Shun is on his way. Like, can you kill Bin? At this point, you
We're
have
about to find out,
only a
Medic.
Divine Sundra. The equalizer down onto Bin. Doesn't take too much damage. The Riptail charges in. The Magnet Storm there as well as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits underneath the tower. Bin dashing away. Surviving Fate's Call used as well. But Peanut, with excessive force, finds the kill. Does mean the tower doesn't fall. Paze will be able to get 3 plates out of it. Counter TP used up towards the top side as Chovy answers Yagao's push. Elk is pushing in mid.
Definitely right in the hands of Chovy. I just look at what you're playing into, the carries, and like aside from Tom Kench, we might see it right here.
Just looking for Elk, maybe trying to get the Devour down. Does have the flash, doesn't have the flash in fact to get away. Enchanted Crystal Arrow into the Magnet Storm. Chovy extending forward, but the Devour still available for BLG here as Pace tries to get on towards the back line, but Delight now pulled out with the Fate's Call. Abyssal Voyage forward by On. Chovy walking away, wounded. On with the flash forward, and Shun coming in from the side. Chovy cataclysmed and brought to his knees, and BLG strike.
I mean, that may be the biggest caster curse I've done in recent history. Hang on.
They thought it was On, it was Yagao, and he has the time to flash and escape. The Drake's still 50 seconds from spawning. We're fighting over a blue buff.
The Akali will be back alive and has TP soon.
Yeah, we'll see though, because that was a really heavy investment. If they get Drake, I think BLG call worth, but otherwise, like that is, what, 4 flashes?
True.
In the end,
Yeah.
just to kill Chovy, who didn't have his flash available, does end up going down.
G's blue, can Chovy survive what could be a 5-man dive? Yagao coming in as a clone of Elk, and Chovy will realize as the arrow hits, he might be just caught out. He tries to flash, but he can't get away in time. Knocked back with the Intofos, and Chovy stayed a little bit too long. Didn't respect the arrow from Elk.
And a nice snipe comes through from Elk. Now BLG with, I was going to say 5 members strong, but Bin choosing to reset means that they can continue this siege onto the top tier 2.
And that is also Chovy investing his flash, right? In the previous play, didn't have it. So it's going to be a very favorable trade here for BLG. Gen.G is able to answer. So it's not the end of the world, but still a big win. They might be looking to try and catch some stragglers here. Chovy does have TP, but doesn't look like anyone is going to be available. And it'll just be Gen.G trying to make the best of a rough situation.
A very close series. The era of LPL dominance returning after a brief delay last year at Worlds. Peanut stepping forward here as the engage comes in from BLG, and Peanut's locked up. Yagao pops Blossoms as Gen.G starts to go pop. The equalizer coming down, and Shun now on the wrong side of the rip, but he can just EQ back to join his team. Pays rooted with the tango bars as Chovy looks for the backline, but the Devour saved for this eventuality. He has to dash away, and a perfect execution from BLG.
And that's vintage Peanut. Just steps forward, gets caught, and now BLG making their way over to the Baron.
No smite for Gen.G, but a fight perhaps begins to materialize. No tangle barbs, remember, for BLG, only the Cataclysm. And a Devour put on. Do you go in with the Magnus Storm? You do. Delight tries to dive in. Doran trying to burn BLG alive as On is taken out, but the re-engage from BLG. Perfection executed once again. Doran and Chovy in a 2v4 fighting for the lives of Gen.G, for the lives of the LCK, but can't find it. BLG get the Baron. And now Gen.G staring down a very long walk back into this game. 2 items complete on Pays, Ginsu's and the Blade of the Ruined King. Yagao here, cease and desist coming out as they try and lock him up. Doesn't have the flash, but has the pop. Blossom, Chovy dashes in, dashes back, dashes out, and dashes forward for the kill. Peanut takes it.
Can they get out though? Looks like they will be. BLG don't want to overinvest towards the top side of the map. On the cross map, Bin is able to still push, but the Red Bull Baron power play is going to lose a lot of momentum from that pick.
The TP now coming through. But as you rightly said, it'll slow BLG down a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough. The wave clear. Oh!
Magnus Storm flash engaged, the equalizer down as well of the TP. Gen.G have pulled the trigger, and they're looking to burst out Elk. Chovy dashing around, and Elk will fall. It's hunting season for Gen.G, and they found what could be the biggest kill of them all. They found a way back into Game 4.
I thought that it wouldn't be enough, but Gen.G just shut me right up. A beautiful engage in mid lane, catches BLG completely off guard, and just like that, as you said, Medic, Gen.G have found a lifeline.
Might be able to get the kill on Bin here as well, and he's going to be disjointed, uses the mobility.
Oh god, Cassante things.
Yeah, Bin just doing Bin things here on the Cassante, and Tofu's come out.
Shields!
The slingshot plate is not enough. The shield's not enough to keep Cassante alive.
Look at these items now being finished for Chovy. Level 15, soon to hit level 16. Elk.
Elk has flash heal. He tries to get across the wall and gets into the Razorbeak pit, but On is deleted. Chovy looking for more. He's going to dive forward into 4 members. He has a stopwatch, but does he have enough time? The Pop Blossom comes out. Chovy survives as he gets off towards the top side, and there it's Yagao. And Busan roars into life once again.
And there is no objective up, but Gen.G, it feels different in this 4th game. They should be able to, at the very least, get themselves a turret here. And again, Yagao gets caught out on, dies saving Elk.
The momentum has clearly swung. What felt like a doomed game state for Gen.G. Let's see if he can find another. Shun looking for a fight.
Look where
Oh,
Delight!
Delight!
And Delight goes in. On trying to keep Elk alive. The Pop Blossom comes out just in time from Yagao. But Yagao is gone. And BLG might be too. Elk trying to do everything he can. But Elk has been mounted on a wall. Delight survives. BLG die. And Gen.G do it all. They have fought back from the absolute brink in Game 2. And it looks like we're going all the way.
It's a clean ace for Gen.G. The Nexus is in their eyes, and they're looking to... Oh,
no, never mind. Out of the eyes.
They're out of the eyes. Blinds put them back on. The Baron is in their eyes. What a team fight and what an engage, just as we were talking about him. Delight again. What an incredible engage. He finds 3 members, and how does Elk even get to play the game?
Just the inhibitor line between them and the biggest prize of all, that Nexus.
The arrow?
The arrow onto Doran, but Delight is in the way. If BLG overstep, there's the equalizer already. Doran getting chunked out, and Doran is donezo. Chovy pushing in the mid lane. Delight can re-engage. No flash for him to disengage this, though. Shun misses the flag and drag across the wall. The stun from Delight. Chovy starting to collapse. There's the base call out. BLG could chase, but they decide instead to make sure their mid lane is still healthy. The inhibitor tower already down. TP now from Bin as he tries to make sure Chovy can't get another tower out of this push.
It's the player to watch for Gen.G. And if Yagao can find a flank. That'll be the difference maker. Chronicler was talking about it earlier.
Oh, here we go! He's in! The Devour immediately, Delight tanky enough, but Chovy is being dealt with by BLG right now. The Pop Blossom doesn't find it. Pace flashes the wall and immediately engages. Chovy's on a rampage now, and Gen.G are just grinding up BLG. A double for Chovy. They wipe them away. The TP towards mid. Gen.G are done with this game.
He's 17 and he's flashing over a wall with his back against the wall. Pace still find the play. Bindo.
You know, relentless force. And even more aggression from Gen.G. Delight in Pays after being put behind in the early game are putting on a clinic here at 35 minutes. It's game 5, a reverse sweep on the cards for Gen.G. And Busan and all Korea are behind them.
This series has taken a turn.
Okay, so this has become the new counter. Okay, don't get baited. I was excited for a second there. I don't love Bard, Kai'Sa. I do like that.
I think Rel works well again.
I think they need it. I think they need a form of engage, and why would you change it when Delight had such a great game in game 4? So Senna, Tahm Kench. A scaling option still, but not really that much safer. If anything, I would say Senna is squishier than the Ashes.
Should at least be able to contest more in lane. I do think Senna has a pretty good time into the Kai'Sa specific.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was the same, honestly, for Ashe last time. And we saw that the laning plays didn't end up mattering that much. But to me, the big difference maker is that Rumble. And I think it's going to be so important for Gen.G that Doran doesn't have to win the lane. But if Bin gets fed, I think this game becomes almost unplayable very quickly for Gen.G. I also think Delight in the last game, as good as he was enabled by the fact that there was a Fate Skull, allowing him to go for much riskier plays and then go for re-engage as well. That's not going to be there. But his engage is still going to be pivotal if Gen.G wants to complete the reverse sweep. Level 1 though for BLG, between J4, Senna and Kench, going to be a very scary thing. Wouldn't be surprised if they go for an invade again.
It's crucial to remember the last game, even though Gen.G won, Shock said it on the desk, it wasn't one-sided. Yeah. BLG were dominating the early game. BLG got themselves a Baron. Excuse me. It was Delight's pick in the mid lane that turned the game around. This series could go either way. Obviously, one of these teams will be moving on towards the semi-final. Will it be an LPL matchup, or will it be the first seed of the LCK to represent them here in Korea? It's our last game of the series, gentlemen. I hope we have a banger.
Pina got the big one, but Shun got, I think, all the small ones.
Shun is going to be forcing Pina up towards the top side. Doran does have Mega 9, can move across. Ignite on Bin, though. And the advantage in terms of summoners.
Fight that.
He will fight that.
Yeah, I mean,
Shun has
the problem Pina has is he doesn't have prio anywhere. Doran's being zoned away, and look, Chovy can't do anything. Look at the bullying that Yagao was putting on the mid right now. Chovy is so low. Doran also in a bit of an awkward position. Our observers highlighting how awkward this is for Gen.G in the early game, and Shun is looking.
Doran underneath the tower, EQ flashes over. Doran able to flash away. Ignite will tick him down, and he will fall first blood to BLG.
Shun's Jarvan, man. 5 games in a row, and this man is still hot. Beautiful first blood for BLG. In the face of Peanut, Shun finds it. We talk about tension, and again, it's important to understand how much responsibility is on the way to the shoulders of both these teams. The TP.
They didn't know Shun was here. They do now. Double TP invested. Bin, still no flash, does have the equalizer. Chovy dancing around, cease and desist available to Peanut. Doesn't use it because Bin is already done for. Chovy takes the kill. Meanwhile, the Magnet Storm onto Elk. He tries to flash away. Pays stepping forward, has the killer instinct on, is pushing in the side lane. No TP for him to join the fight. Yagao with the shockwave, but Pays takes him out. The killer instinct finds its mark. Doran locked up with the last embrace, but I don't think he is in too much danger.
And it is nothing happening until the map explodes. Double TP invested by Gen.G, punishing Bin. And on the cross map, there isn't anything available. Yagao gets taken down as well. I think he tried to like flash and then take the Orianna ult with him, but instead just ends up throwing his flash into nothing. The only benefactor for BLG is on. Really staying together.
Oh my god, he's He's forcing the Baron. They
It's
have
just
no
starting
vision.
it. They don't
Yeah,
know.
they know.
Now
No,
they know
they-
that BLG are on their way across. Chovy pushing in the bot lane has the TP.
They're trying to
Doran
get the
is here as
TP.
well. Almost got the Mega Nard. Delight can jump in. BLG looks like they're second guessing themselves. Doran dashing forward. BLG pull off the Baron.
They just wanted the TP out from Chovy. Gen.G didn't take the bait. They knew that they weren't under any real pressure, and this is giving Chovy a window now to push in this tier 2.
And they're just going to start it up
Yeah,
again.
they go back to it,
Peanut's
of
going
course.
to bot.
Pays is all the way down towards the blue
Whoa,
as well.
whoa, whoa, whoa! This is a massive mistake from Gen.G.
BLG won't do it too quickly. It's only Shun, Yagao, and Bin there
Doran
right
doesn't
now.
have
Al
Mega.
coming in as well.
But they
Doran's
don't
about to
know.
fall off Mega. Delight can step forward. The control ward in the Baron pit allows Gen.G vision of it. Elk still trying to do what he can. The equalizer down. Pays on as well.
Oh,
the
right!
Storm hits on 3. Chovy dives onto the backline but misses. The Shuriken as Delight will fall first. Pays doing everything he can as Peanut has to dash away. The center will hit him from long range. Now Doran forced away. It's a 2-for-1 so far in favor of BLG. Doran just able to scrape his way away.
An incredibly tense situation.
Chovy going in, caught with the last embrace, but he goes into the Twilight Shroud. TP now invested by Gen.G. The Dragon
flash
up.
Shun.
Doran able to dash away. Shun going in with Cataclysm, but now Delight can really open up. Magna Storm not quite off cooldown. Doran has a stopwatch, but all he can buy is the second
Hit!
equalizer now out. Doran falls. Chovy looking to hit
Hit!
him. He dashes back in, but the Abyssal
Abyssal!
Voyage brings him forward. And Chovy is shut out of the fight. BLG find 2.
And that might be it. That might be the moment that BLG have been looking for. They're going to run towards the Baron. Doran waits too long with the stopwatch. Wants to get his Mega Nard, ends up going down and then on. Knocks up Chovy. That's going to be Baron.
Doran holds his flash. The hometown favorites of Gen.G. Ultimate,
assist.
Peanut.
Onto Shun, the Killer Instinct going forward as well. They can lock Shun up and they'll shut him out. The shutdown over to Pays.
And it's a sigh of relief in the arena.
Delight spotted by Shun. Mid lane tower falls to Gen.G, but BLG will get a tier 2 in the top lane in answer.
Baron's still here. BLG, they know where Peanut is. Chovy can TP though, but ideally he wants the back. Doesn't get to.
Now TPing in as well. Chovy gets in, has to dash away, but Shun's still able to land. The knock of the shockwave was waiting, couldn't quite find his mark, but the flames are spitting from Bin, and Chovy cataclysmed into an early grave, and now Gen.G on the back foot. BLG 5 members strong will take the inhib. Will they look for more?
I mean, why wouldn't they? They have the Nexus in their eyes. BLG are looking to end it here.
Pays, Doran, Delight, and Peanut. 4 members strong for Gen.G trying to defend, but BLG as 5 push in. The first Nexus tower down. Delight
has
can
the
still
Mega.
engage. The shockwave finds 2, but the Magna Storm from Delight onto the backline immediately locks up BLG for a second. The Gnar back from Doran as well. It's all on Pays. He's trying to do everything he can to cease and desist under the tower. Will shut out Bin. Pays dancing and weaving his way around the fight. No minions left though. But BLG means they have to back away.
Gen.G hold on to their Nexus. It takes everything that they have, but they're able to defend. BLG were so close, but they could not take down Pays. They could not take down that AD carry. And here we go. The tango around the Purple Worm will begin once more. It's BLG first to the objective. The vision control is good. They're sweeping out what little vision Gen.G have. Delight needs to be careful.
Awesome Grace going to hit him. He's going to try and jump away, but the chase is on. The equalizer coming out as well. Delight can look for the re-engage. Doran goes in with the Mega Nard. Pays now dives onto the back line. Delight already down, but they killed off Belk as well. Shun tries to get in with the Cataclysm, and he'll get the shot down onto Pays. And now it's all on Chovy. He's dashing. He's dancing around the fight. The perfect execution for BLG may be too much. Chovy buys a second, but he just can't buy the win. BLG force Gen.G out of their own jungle.
And that's going to be the second Baron going over to BLG. And the momentum feels like it's... Oh no, are they not going to try? TPs are available.
They only have 1, remember, Bin. No TP on him. Doran dashes across the wall to safety.
He's trying to get the Mega so he can contest the Baron. But without Elk, I guess they're too concerned. They don't want to take the gamble. But here we are. They'll start this one off. The TP comes through. Doran,
It's got to be gone.
he's going to be forced to base. There's no smite. Oh my goodness. What a crazy team fight.
Organization that has defied expectations as
The
the
TP.
TP comes in behind. Chovy looking for something. Delay already caught out by Bin. He's going to have to dash away on going in with the Abyssal Voyage. Chovy looking for that flank position, but the Equalizer coming down. And once again, doesn't quite get him into the wall. Elk gobbled up as On is going to spit him out, and the tower's already gone down. Dawning Shadow out as Peanut Balls. Everyone on Gen.G is so low. Elk's still full HP pretty much as he heals up with a Piercing Dark. And Gen.G just cannot find the pick they're looking for.
That's going to be 2 inhibitors down now, and BLG, they might try and look for the end.
And everything invested by Gen.G. No ult on Delight, not on Pays either. Yagao still has the Shockwave to send a shock through the crowd here in Busan. Pays low again, rooted up. The Shockwave just short. The stopwatch from Pays buys a second, but Shun still has the GA. Chovy trying to clear out the minions as the Gnar back from Doran once again.
GA.
But On just tanks for days. GA coming out from Shun, and now it's all on Chovy. It's all on Pays. And we were told Busan was the church of Chovy, but what's a god to 5 non-believers? BLG will face Weibo in semis.